right.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Are you ready for beer day when Kai arrives?
Yeah, I thought those were on odd days.
Not anymore.
Oh.
It's not that it's on odd days, it's every other day.
Oh.
And
Fine.
so that means that if a month is a 31-day month, then odds and evens flips at the end of the month.
Yeah. I see. Oh, well.
So we're on evens now.
I'll find something. Cooking right now.
We're on evens until the end of the next 31-day month.
Got it.
Whenever that is. I never remember these things ahead of time.
Yeah.
The only one I always know is December. And then, of course, February never is. But sometimes it's 29, so that'll do it, too.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
First.
I need a fast travel point.
Oh. Okay.
Ooh. Upgrade available.
You, head down to the old radio. Get the generator working. We need to get one last transmission out, and let the other settlements know what's coming. I'll do what I can. You two, I need eyes out across the valley.
This vase must have been beautiful once, but someone's poked a few new holes in it and filled it with dirt. They must have used it to grow seedlings.
That is a nice vase, though.
Oh.
If a little bit too goldy.
Head to the cliffs and take watch.
Oh.
I want to know the moment you see their helicopters.
Yes.
Anything that's made purely out of gold just feels pretentious, you know?
Go with God.
That's the old joke.
What?
For some cartoon I can't
Must keep
remember
them
or
away from
something.
the Acropolis
Yeah, trying to collect.
no matter the cost.
Had us mentioned
Send
stealing
the to the catacombs
old
below.
antique
But we
vases.
have to keep the enemy in
We brought you another vase, boss. It's vase, you Philistine.
Nah. Vase. Vasi. We brought you another Vasi.
We'll have to make do with what we have.
Well, if they need arrowheads for the battle, then I need more firewood.
Another difficult winter for my people. There are more deaths than births now. And as the seasons pass, the young ones are becoming restless. I see them looking to the sky when the rare plane passes overhead. Wistful. Wondering. Longing. I know they are still deeply committed to the cause. But I also sense a change coming. An end to our way of life is on the horizon. The most recent invaders are fading from memory. But as the technology of men advances, more are bound to find our valley again. And we are bound with the fate of this place. For better or worse.
Our hidden valley and its precious ranch dressing.
I don't know how much plutonium you'll have left to forge.
It's good stuff.
Oh yeah.
We can make points.
Not gonna argue that.
The Soviets did as well.
Alright.
Okay.
There's a campsite over there. Should be able to fast travel from that.
Okay.
We know this land better than they ever will. Don't forget that.
Guess it must have
Oh,
been acid earlier.
Did you find that the new DLC for door kickers?
I haven't grabbed it yet, but
Jacob and his people are resilient.
definitely gonna grab it at some
I'll give
point.
them that.
Yeah.
Trinity is on their way. They could do with my help. And this atlas from the mural. If it really is some kind of map of the ruins, I've got to find it before Anna. If I don't, then all these deaths will have been in vain.
Oh no.
And I can't have that on my conscience.
So I better get rid of my conscience.
That's very, it's very Portal.
Hmm.
Memory deleted.
Oh, what was it? Oh, I think I may have, speaking of door kickers action force, I think I may have got somebody interested in the game.
Yeah.
I was watching Omegon. He was playing Enter the Gungeon.
Oh, that game's nuts.
Yeah, and I told him about door kickers, and I sent him a little Steam link, and he said it sounded good. So who knows? Maybe sometime I'll watch him play it.
Okay, so I got this White Widow bone now. It's the same stats as the one I've got now, but it's probably going to look cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little nicer. Like white birchwood or something.
Hiawatha. No. Right now, I'm gonna watch. Run back towards between the screen and the stove.
No upgrades I don't want to do right now. But what I want to do is fast travel. I want to head back over here and do these quests over here.
Watching that nice rifle. I wonder what Brandon Herrera would think of that.
Who?
Brandon Herrera. Oh, Kai could tell you all about that. He basically talks about guns.
She's not here.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel mainly about guns and stuff, and he's the one that does the reactions to like cursed gun images. I see all kind of people talking about that. He's a cool dude. But I think one thing he was doing a commentary on. God, which one? I think looking at the guns in Call of Duty Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you're looking at like weapons, maybe like World War II era, and they're putting like modern day attachments onto them in the game.
Yeah.
I guess. Like, oh God.
It's alternate history.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Got a bunch of stuff to do here. I'll be able to get some more of it done now that I've got the knife. Take that, ground.
Yeah. Ground. Oh, wonderful. Be friends with me.
These might be friendlies, actually.
I'm glad you got that reference.
I think I would call it ground.
Hello,
Guys, you're
ground.
totally friends, right?
Greetings.
Okay.
There's somebody put some, I guess like an inspirational message at one time, and it said, "If you fall, I'll be there to catch you." Ground. And I wrote underneath it, "Oh, wonderful, be friends with me."
I mean, ground is definitely solid and dependable.
Hello, ladies. Lady. Oh, that was not coming. Yeah. Hi, Snow.
No, it's me. Sorry to disappoint.
It looks like
I was
Never.
looking for a second. I thought I saw Kai there, but I was just.
She's on her way. She's got to grab her beer right fast.
Got it. I'm kind of running between the computer and the stove.
So how's the recovering feline?
On the mend.
This is good.
Let me tell you, getting
Yeah.
therapy is definitely a good thing.
Ah, so it's not just tiredness then.
What's the word
Yeah,
on the
no.
bags they picked up outside the valley?
Well, it is tiredness,
Spotted something.
but yeah.
But also, no grenade for you, bitch. Ah, suddenly fucking Puma.
Uma.
What is this, Far Cry? I thought Far Cry was the game where you're fighting somebody and then suddenly an animal eats you.
I don't think a squirt bottle's gonna work on this yet.
Depends how big it is and what it's filled with.
A squirt bottle did work. It was just a lead squirt bottle.
And then I sliced the cat's ass off.
Yeah.
Rude.
You spank it,
Wasn't
not
you-
slice it.
It wasn't using it anymore.
Break me off a piece of that. Oh.
Alright, I gotta figure out how to get up Nya. Art thou imburilated, Kai?
I surely am.
Yeah, I got me something now.
Happy beer day then.
Yeah, happy beer day to you too.
Sure.
Slinkies.
Let's see. I'm out of my lemon. Let's see if I have anything.
That's a cold fucking beer. Damn.
Okay, let's try this one. I have not tried this one. This should be interesting.
The way you say that, Kai, reminds me of those. You know, you always see those beer ads are like, get cold, refreshing, whatever the fuck our brand name is, right?
Laying down cover and fire. Fire in the hole.
You can't advertise your beer as if coldness is an inherent feature of your beer.
It's
doesn't mean
true.
anything.
You really shouldn't.
It doesn't mean anything. Our beer is inherently colder than the other person's beer. What? Explain.
Come on. Let's end this.
Only
Okay,
if you
I
change
like
the
this
settings. What'd you end up with, love?
From a local brewery, platform beer company called Breezy.
Oh.
It's a session
Eh.
sour ale. It
Sorry, this guy just... I shot his helmet and now he's just stuck T-posing.
Asserting dominance.
You might be asserting dominance, but I'm the one pointing a gun at your head.
No. Yeah.
Sorry,
Like,
Snow.
the flavor take like regular tropical punch and add a bit more sour to it and make it beer.
Interesting.
It's not bad.
I'd
What's it
put it
called
in my
again?
face.
What did you say it was called, Snow?
What they're calling it is called Breezy, but it's from a local brewery called Platform.
Oh, right, you said. Okay. It's an interesting name for a beer. Okay, I need to get up
Not
to the
bad.
top of this.
Not as sweet
yeah,
as the lemon shandy that I'm used to, but
By the way, when we're finished with this franchise playthrough of these 3 games, not only am I going to play through the original one, but also I've got 2 other game keys for games I need to show off as well.
okay.
One of which is V Rising, which we talked about a bit the other day.
Oh, I was watching somebody playing that this morning. Yeah, it looks like fun.
I got a key for it, so we're gonna do a stream of that.
Mind
see what we
you,
think.
I was watching it. I was barely awake, laying in bed and looking at it on my phone, but
It seems like it could also potentially be an interesting community game
yeah,
if other people got a hold of copies of it.
yeah.
But I don't know if anybody in our community has got it.
I don't know if anybody.
Oh, I didn't mean to go through those climbable wall bit. Yeah. But that's an idea for the future, perhaps, if people were into that.
Let's see. Tomato.
Trying to see if I can get this lockpick by finishing these side quests in this area. Plus, there's at least a couple tunes here.
Oh,
Of the
that's
non-Adrian variety.
I am so dumb.
Well, knowing is half the battle.
It is important to know this about yourself.
The other half is violence.
I'm really good at violence.
So I see you have chosen violence.
You have chosen death.
I think probably my favorite things is a battle of wits. A shame you've come unarmed.
Yep.
I don't know what this thing is from. I've been watching this guy. He's
I think you've used that one on a lot of us here before.
oh dear, I was spotted a cat. Good day. That's some clip I've seen. Guy's wearing he's got white face paint on. He's got a powdered wig and like kind of what 18th century clothing. I don't know where the clip is from. And started right at where he's looking through his opera glasses. Oh dear, I seem to have spotted a cat. Good day.
That's good. I love it. Oh dear.
That is glorious.
I can't remember whose video I was watching where the guy was just brushing off some reporter or something. And he just stepped back with his hands behind his back. This is a gesture. I said, I guess that's his. I said, good day, sir.
Love the little extra stank you're rubbing on it there. I said good day, sir.
There was a thing on How I Met Your Mother. Who had a
These
hair at the tongue.
markings,
Something like, good
they're not
day,
Russian.
sir.
A warning, maybe?
And there's a pause, and it's like, you're waiting for me to talk, so you can, I said good day, sir.
Alright, let's hand in this quest to see what we get from this. Oh, this is the place where the rabbit suicided, I think. Oh no, there's some campfire here. That was a crazy clip.
Yeah.
The rabbit just went for it. Where's dude fella? It's farther down. Okay. I think this was the campfire in question over here. Self-roasting rabbit. Here, got it.
Sounds
All
like a time saver.
right. Yeah.
Have you done it?
The repeaters are
A
off.
rabbit that knows what it's
It's
worth.
So it is.
Dinner.
We don't have much to spare, but if you're fighting with us, you can use this.
Ah, that was the lockpick mission. Excellent. I think I can use it right in here too, actually. If I remember correctly.
I've been alerted of dinner. I will be back.
Enjoy.
Okie dokie.
Also,
Hurry
I did
back,
not
have
remember
good noms.
correctly.
Give it a shot. Oh,
Oh, it's outside.
She's adorable.
You both are. Especially
No,
together.
she's the adorable one.
Nah. Oh, not you and two now. It's full of nothing. What's in the box? Nothing. It was so stupid.
Sounds like that episode of Metalocalypse when it was Murderface's birthday, and the man's a nihilist, so they got him the perfect gift for a nihilist. Nothing.
It's just what he wanted.
However, they did get him one gift. They got him apparently the original limo that Kennedy was in when he got killed,
Yeah.
which they then let him drive in a demolition derby and just completely wrecked the thing.
That sounds like Metalocalypse, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Alright.
Goodies. Oh, no, I have to spam this one.
Goody, goody, goody. And, good eating.
I said good day.
Them's good eating.
Mm-hmm. Crypt entrance. What the hell is that about?
The crypt entrance where the Bloods come in.
Yeah,
No.
valid question. Alright, skill point. Dodge kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seeing that, trying out V Rising should be interesting. I was definitely curious about that game. I never ended up with a copy of Valheim, but we can try this one. Vampireheim. Any interesting new recipes recently, Blast?
No, I mean, like ones I've made before, probably on here. Like I made miso soup a few days ago. Tonight I'm making butter chicken.
Oh, nice. That's a classic.
Yep. So I've got now. In fact, I'm taking I got the chicken browned. I'm removing it from the pot to do the rest of the recipe. That smells good already. To start, I have marinated my chicken with chili powder and turmeric, and I've browned it in butter. So now I got some good juice off of that in the pot. Taking the chicken out, and the next thing will be to put the onion in.
I'm not in the right spot.
Alright. And onion.
Onion.
Onion! I can't remember who that is. Some cooking show guy that, like I said, onion. And somebody in a video just nothing but him saying onions just for the whole video.
Like
I don't know, probably some French chef or something.
Either that or he's making fun of them.
Onion. Or he's Cajun, so.
I mean, that's the only cool way to be French.
Not even being French Canadian?
Oh, they're the worst kind.
Yeah, really. There was one of my favorite scenes in a comic when somebody's telling me, why do the French hate us? And they said, the French don't hate you, they don't know you. It's the French Canadians that hate you.
They hate everybody that's not them.
And then you're like, oh, there's French people in Canada? That's like practically next door. Oh, no.
I'm very confused by this map right now. There's this little outcrop over here. Can't see how to get to it.
Let's see. Onion.
This might be it here.
So, get the onions started cooking.
Gotta slip into that tight little crack.
Ladies.
Ladies.
I realized the can looks very unassuming. I posted it in pictures. Like, very unassuming.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty modest looking can.
Picture
is good though.
It's good.
Definitely looks like an independent brewery. kind of can.
Yep. A lot of, well, Ohio has a lot of breweries, like local breweries that, not as bad as like, oh hey, you turn a corner and there's like a Dollar General or something, but there's a lot of them around here.
Cocos of Nicaea, the astronomer.
Nicaea? Oh, bad things happened on planet Nicaea, didn't they?
Seems so.
Warcraft jokes. But, I mean, it's better than Dollar Generals all over the place, sounds like. I still like that weird, indie brewery we have in my town. I just wish they had, like, more smaller can options for their stuff. So a lot of their beers just come in big bottles.
We don't have a lot of breweries here. We do have plenty of places that sell indie and craft beers. One's really good because it's, I don't know, they actually let you like buy it and drink it there in the place. They got tables set up, or take it with you, and they have a nice little, you know, a small humidor to the side. You can get cigars as well.
Yeah. Well, on the other hand, though, I can at least say that our local brewery has their one claim to fame. They have the Tom Green beer.
Uh-oh.
There's what, the unfunny actor?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay. Only thing I know him.
He apparently does stand-up comedy at like comedy clubs, and he liked to after a set he liked to sit down with some people from the audience and have a beer with them.
Oh yeah.
And he decided that he thought it would be cool if the beer he had with them was his own beer that he owned, he provided. So he talked to this local brewery and they made a beer specifically for him.
That's nice. Oh, a lot of celebrities
But the best part,
do that.
it's made with milk.
Milk beer.
It's a milk stout.
Okay.
Which is funny if you know anything about Tom Green.
Okay.
I have had
what is it? Oatmeal stout before.
That sounds interesting.
Oatmeal cream stout.
A prophet must have his followers. Cocos of Nicaea was one of the prophets first. Branded a heretic in his home city, Cocos joined the pilgrimage north. His knowledge of the stars helped guide the way. It is said that Cocos and the prophet would sit for hours under the stars debating the nature of the universe and man's fraught place within it. For the prophet, he built an orrery of planets and stars, so that even during the dark of winter, he might gaze upon the night sky.
An orrery.
That's
right. You know those machines that simulate the movement of the planets?
Yeah, I know. I was just making it.
Oatmeal sounds like an interesting idea for a beer. One of the ones that the same local place does is the name of the beer is actually just based on latitude longitude coordinates.
Yeah.
Which point to a particular island off the coast of Canada that has like a specific kind of berry tree.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a tree or a bush, but there's a specific kind of berry that only grows there, and they make their beer using those berries. It's pretty good.
I was watching. Yeah, this stuff said it was an oatmeal cream stout, and it's called Buffalo Sweat.
Okay, terrible name, but the idea is interesting. Is there a story behind that name?
I don't know.
Sounds like there might be.
Probably is, but like I said, pretty good.
I would try it. This is the way back out.
We have a pecan stout that's made by a Mississippi company.
Interesting.
See if I can find the let's see.
I guess that's the way back out.
I think that's what it is.
I'm missing something in here and I don't know where it is. is why I'm missing it still. Wait. Or zip line? Oh, that's just cobwebs. I'll jump anyway, though.
I think it's Mississippi.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Southern Prohibition is the name of the company.
You can't prohibit the southern people. That's rude.
I think it's probably
very
almost
rude.
making it during, like maybe some of the stuff that was developed during Prohibition.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing a sass.
Yes. Find one. This is the one thing.
Chinbo pods. Okay. Now there's a thing up here.
I thought that was the pecan stout, or maybe I'm looking thinking of somebody else made that. I haven't had it in a while. Has some great names. They got Good Vibrations, Astral Domain, Ruby Slippers, Fire Ant, which
Probably
is a
spicy,
red ale.
I'm guessing.
Imperial Red Ale. Bold balance, 8% alcohol, slight hop bite.
Yeah. Well, at least it's slight.
Mm.
I don't like overly hoppy beers. So IPAs are pretty much a non-option for me.
They got a there's Susie D Blonde Ale. Crowd Control Imperial IPA.
Well, the Imperials
Devil's
definitely love to control the crowd.
Devil's Harvest Breakfast IPA.
Alright, let's see.
Anyways, yeah.
I wonder if the enemies down here respawn, like some of those other guys did. But to find out.
Hey, I'm wrong. That wasn't Southern Prohibition make this. It's another Southern company, Lazy Magnolia, another Mississippi company. Southern Pecan Nut Brown Ale is what it is.
You're new with Trinity, right? I think first contract. Had a few mates who got contact. I see him. Take him down.
I didn't have this rifle last time I fought you guys. I don't think I can destroy that light. Alrighty.
Alright, there's the tomato and the cream added to it.
That's a sentence I didn't expect to hear.
Now it's
While talking about beer anyway.
No,
talking
I'm
about
back to
the curry. Yeah.
The butter chicken, yeah. So now I'm gonna let that come to a simmer.
Let's see.
Oofa.
Challenge thing yet. This way.
Oh, Lazy Magnolia from Kiln, Mississippi. Okay, that. I knew of Mississippi, didn't know where.
Oh, I have to decide right. Yeah. I wasn't sure if that was snow in Lara's hair or if just some of her pixels were glitching.
Ow!
I missed the thing.
Apparently, it didn't miss you.
Nope.
Why did they even make that an option?
I don't know. But, just like Blast mentioned earlier, the ground was reliable and there to catch me.
Let's see what else we got here. Okay, Southern Pecan, Good Bug Golden Ale, Grapefruit Radler.
Am I able to read this one way through? Yeah. Okay.
Late perfect. Cherry pickin'. I'm gonna guess that's cherry flavored.
I would assume.
Oh. Cream stout. Bad Captain Goose. What a sour goose style. I've never had goose.
I don't know what that even is.
Go say.
Oh, the Japanese thing. That's a type of
Oh,
berry,
goose?
I think, isn't
Okay.
it?
Go say.
Isn't it a berry?
Sour goze style ale brewed with coriander and pale wheat.
Last. Give Snow a chance to answer.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was actually trying to think.
Yeah, go.
Okay. All right. Well, you can do your thing while she's thinking about it then, unless she's just remembered now.
Nah.
I know it's a Japanese word anyway, but I'm not.
I didn't
remember if it was like a kind of berry or something, maybe.
A gulag identification card for one of the prisoners.
It's actually a German beer, so.
Oh.
But yeah.
That was a beer style.
Where's this thing?
Malted wheat. Interesting.
How do I in there?
Tink tink.
How curious.
Really interesting. Okay.
Thingy to pick up over in a spot that I don't know how to get to.
Uh-huh.
Can I get up here? No. Maybe I have to progress forward. I have no idea how to get to that thing. Oh well. Moving on. I figure I might as well speed things up while I can, but if it's going to be a huge pain in the ass to figure out how to get to it, then I don't care so much anymore.
Yep.
Okay.
Tink.
Found antlers.
Antlers.
There's another strong box? Or is that one that I already have? What does this symbol mean? Mission's completed. Does this guy have a new mission for me? Usually, if things are in white, that means that there's something to do. And then they gray out when you've done them.
Had to run off for a second. Tara was getting into something.
You can help us then.
What's the problem?
I have warriors spread across this valley. Last night, 2 of my bravest were captured, and I have reason to believe they are still alive. There was a third with them who escaped, and he tells me they were taken beneath the train station. Saw them put into cages before he managed to escape. I have a dozen other warriors in the valley, and I have to stay here to coordinate their strikes. But you, I've seen what you can do, and I must ask you to help.
Yes. Yes, of course.
Thank you. They knew the risks, and they would happily die for the cause. But I can't let that happen.
But it's better if they don't. Alright, let's grab these things and then do his mission over there. And get stuff. I like it when I get stuff. Stuff is neat. My favorite kind of stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Cash up there. Oh. A flag to F. What's that flag? Okay. Anything here? Okay. And now there's the quest in this cave. Oh, maybe this is down here. Maybe this is the cliffside somewhere. Oh no, it's up there. That might be the way up to it, though. That's sneaky. There's a thing there and up there. Oh, but I can't do it, activate it from there, though. It looks like it's only a way out from the other side. Huh. Curious. Alright. Well, let's do the cave and the mission. I can. I remember I needed explosives for the cave. I don't remember if there's anything down there I can explode things with. Yeah, well. Back up, yeah. No, I can't detach that. It only goes from the other direction. Alright.
I know she's speaking Russian again.
You must think in Russian.
Because
So cold.
anytime I've ever heard, like, actual Russian, it sounds like you're trying to strangle somebody. Tell me I'm wrong.
It definitely sounds like you want to. It's a very angry sounding language.
Yeah. I mean, German too, so.
Yeah.
Krankenwagen.
Telling somebody in German that you love them sounds incredibly angry.
Krankenwagen.
It also sounds like you're trying to clear your throat, because there's a lot of phlegm in that sentence.
Yeah.
Flugzeug.
Okay, over there. So I can't get in there until I have my grenade launcher, I think.
Schmetterling.
Yeah. The angriest butterfly. This way. Okay. Maybe this is how I get to the thing after all. Yeah, it'll be crazy when we finish the reboot trilogy, then we go back and play the first game, because it's... Oh my god, so dated. The classic.
Yeah. The other one must have gone out through the vent. Here.
What was that?
Just a little bit of murder, don't worry about it.
You're dead.
Nope. I mean, well, a few times over so far, but I got better. Oh, it's in here. Okay, I needed the mission first. I remember being here before, and this was closed. I had to have had the mission. And then I think that's that hallway again. Yes, okay. Now it makes sense. Wait, what's in here? It's full of XP. Oof.
You and under someone kill her already.
You do it.
Let's finish.
I was about to say, you do it.
Nice thing about headshots with the bow is you don't have to fully charge your shot.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to do a lot of damage with a headshot. Oh, man. Alright. Scour that room.
Hey, over here.
It's okay. I'm gonna get you out of here.
There you go.
All right, stay hidden and keep moving.
We owe you our lives.
You do, and I expect you to pay up.
Hmm.
Gotta have to go out this window.
Your help is greatly appreciated. We know these lands, but there are fewer of us every season.
Well, it's time to get fucking then. Gotta get that birth rate up.
For Mother Russia.
Yes. Now I go hand in. Okay. Let's get out of Nya. Now is when I do this one. Okay. There.
Have your little moto thing anymore in here?
Don't need it going downwards.
Hmm.
True. Yes, I do have it.
All right, cool.
I had to buy a new one, but I have it again.
Nice.
But that is for upping, not for downing. Hey, I've got good news for you. Hey, I found your guy. Hey. Lara's running like an excited kid. Hey.
Find them.
I found your warriors. They're alive.
I'm starting to think it's not an accident you came to our valley, Lara Croft.
No, I came here on purpose.
You know we cannot offer you much, but I hope
She wants
this will make
uppies.
Infiltrator gear. What the hell is that? Is that an outfit? It sounds like it's probably an outfit.
Ninja now.
Can I ninja? Ninja. No point though.
No, it's just a rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher.
Rocket.
How to infiltrate? Well, you can't. You don't have to worry about being hurt if there's no witnesses.
Well, yeah.
Fact.
I give amazing advice. What are you talking about?
Sounds like. Sounds like when Soviet one of them were playing Arma and he bonked into somebody's car. I said, well, look, there's no claims bonus. And they pull a rocket launcher and blows up the guy's car. Like, can't file a claim if you're dead. Oh.
Oh, here it is.
Change the look.
Reduces delay before health begins regenerating when damaged. I thought I had that already, but I guess that's another way to get it if you don't have it given to you. Yeah. Okay, so this one doesn't give me a bonus, but it looks nice.
She's standing around like, would you hurry up and choose?
Yeah. Oh no, that's not weather appropriate at all.
Yeah.
Time for a little fashion raider.
Hey.
I could wear chainmail. Probably not great in the snow.
I don't think. I don't
I don't
so.
think it would either.
Valiant Explorer. That looks interesting.
Spirit Weaver.
Ooh.
What does this look like?
Shaman. He's a wizard, Harry.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Hmm?
Yeah, we'll go with that. I've met up with the remnants. Now I'll wear one of their outfits. Okay. Let's see now. Wait, you have another mission?
Lara.
What's up?
I'm in need of your skills if you have a moment.
What's the problem?
I've been expecting a messenger bird with a report on the invaders' movements.
Sorry, it was delicious.
It's critical that we stay ahead of them. But the damn bird is lost because of the radio tower in the facility.
Damn bird.
Whatever that thing puts out, it seems to cripple the bird's sense of direction. Our man who gathered the info was killed, so that message is all we have to honor the price he paid.
Bird.
I know you can track that damn crow as good as any of the hunters. Will you help us?
I'll do my damnedest.
I'd appreciate
Wait a minute. Did this outfit change my hair color? It looks darker than it was before. Maybe that's because there's no snow in it right now.
Maybe.
Okay, yeah, no, maybe it was just the lighting. It looks more brown again now. Okay, go find the crow. There it is.
The crow.
Now what do I do? Because I don't think you want me to kill it. Yeah, locate it. I did. Now what? Hello, Barb.
Babe. It's a babe.
Do they want me to take out the radio tower? Because I thought I disabled those already. Maybe they want me to try to capture it. Let me see if I can get up to it. Yeah. Nope, not that way. Oh. No, that wasn't it. Never mind. Thought it left. I was gonna have to chase it around, but that was not the right verb. Yeah. Yes, I know about the tomb already. Shut up. Busy. I will tomb later. I missed. This is not what I wanted. I want it up there. Way up there. Ain't I up there? Can I get up on top of this thing? Actually, I already was on top of this thing. I'm gonna try that again. Maybe I can get some shimmying from there. Jump on this. Ah! Almost. Yes, I know about the challenge tomb. Thank you. What the heck? Oh. Now it left. It sensed my arrow pointing at its bum. They really want me to do this too.
What's the word on the local guides that picked up outside the valley? Said they were hired by 2 people. One of them a young British woman. But they left him in the mountain before the avalanche. Huh? Sounds like that Constantine's phantom. Whoever brings her in is gonna be rich. Hey, they get the radio tower repaired? Not yet. I don't think any of the techs thought they'd be repairing a 50-year-old comlink. Well, they better figure it out.
That's why I did this earlier, so it's an easy climb.
Yep.
I know how to do it already.
Yay.
Now, where's Burb?
Wearing Soviet uniforms, yeah, I heard.
What was that? I think there's someone out there.
What was that?
Whoop.
What was that? It was bad aim, that's what it was.
Message for you, sir.
Yeah. I think that second guy did get hit in the chest, so it's very appropriate.
Keep firing! God damn it! Take her out!
Hey, rude. Where even are you?
Grenade out!
Oh, you're down there. You were down somewhere, but I thought you were farther away.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
He's a
right
unicorn
now.
now.
Wild and crazy guy.
Where's this other guy?
She's hit!
Over there.
Move it into position! I got it!
You know, they're hiding behind this branch.
Taking fire!
That was a good death noise. Alright, you're up here. Oi.
Oh, Boyd.
Come on now, bird. Got you right where I want you.
Poop right in her face.
Now. No downies. This worked last time. There we go.
Right in the butt.
Got danger sense.
Throwing a grenade!
My bird senses tingling.
Clear!
Look, these guys from earlier. Boop, boop. Alright. Now. Bird went up there.
Burb.
That means I have to go over yeah.
Burb, burb, burb.
Burb's the werb.
Burby.
Oh look, there's another tune to the game to harass me about.
Oh, lovely.
What's that?
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Well, once I finish this mission, I'll go and do them. You know, one task at a time. All right. Burb was farther over this way, I think. Yeah. Got wrists of steel. Time to go home, Burb.
Go away, Burb.
I will
Shoo.
shoot you in the booty.
Fly, nutty, fly.
Yes. Whee! Good enough. Yeah. This way. Burb's the werb.
Burb. Burby.
Oh, he's up on top of this now. Okay. Doing me a combat music. But I don't see any mans. Shoot the mans if I don't see the mans. Wait, you're up there. Get out of there. Get. Get. Make me come up there. I'll do it. I will apparently not do it. Did I read this one yet? I think I did. This burger was a pain in my patootie. Yeah? Question mark? No.
That was a laugh.
What?
That was a laugh. If I confuse you.
It's like trying to run up the slide in the playground. Jesus.
How do I get up there then? Do I not have to get up there? Oh, what if I do this? Oh.
Nope.
Over his poor wrists once again. Get on that, because I think it's just supposed to be a way to jump. Yeah, it's just a swing. Not a stand on. Alright, maybe I'm just supposed to try and scare him off again, though, but that didn't work before. Hey, bird! Boom! Aren't you scared? You should probably get out of here. I'll do this. Scared now? Huh? Like that? Is that doing anything for you? No? There you go, finally. Bastard. Alright. Are any zip lines going that way? No? Of course not. That would have been convenient.
Something over there.
Ah!
Ah! Bad dog!
Waffles!
Uh-oh.
Look, my leather delivery has arrived.
Oh, wait, but
Yay.
It's slightly damaged.
It happens.
that's where you put the buttons.
Yeah.
You have holes for them.
Where's the other one? There you are.
There.
I had to activate my glow vision. Okay, Burb is now
There.
circling.
Whoosh.
Turning in weird increments. Why are you here? Are you too good for your home?
Yes.
Is this the radio tower that was bugging him? Do I have to... Did I not already sabotage this one? I did. What do you want me to do? I already messed with these radio towers. He should be okay. I can cut this thing down.
No safety gear. Nothing to protect the workers.
Of course not.
Definitely not Ocean's approved.
I thought we already established that this was Russia. Of course there's no safety gear for workers.
Safety gear is markup decadent West.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Try not.
No safety gear until everyone has safety gear.
Oh wait, maybe I have to go farther out. Safety gear for peoples. Alright. Wait.
Safety is so bougie.
Alright, all that for some flowers. Alright, now bird, what is your problem? Go home! Go the fuck home!
Hi, birdie.
Bad bird.
Oh,
Bad birdie.
Bird.
Well, no. I was gonna say maybe I'll just go back and talk to the quest giver, but he'd be the one with the green icon if that was the next step.
The quest giver has fun. Must choose.
Would anybody care to help me Google this?
Okay.
Rise of the Tomb Raider misguided intelligence.
I'm
gonna go check out this cave over here in the meantime. I think this might have been one of the caves I needed an explosive in.
Okay.
Oh no, it's this. Okay.
The target bird. Shoot it with an arrow, loot its body, and...
Am I supposed to kill it?
Yeah, shoot it with an arrow, loot its body, and return to the remnant general to complete the mission.
Huh. That's a bit brutal, but okay.
Well, the bird ain't coming back, so you...
It's true.
Bird, you have failed me for the last time.
I think that's gonna work to get me in there. I need a proper explosive. But well, let's wrap up this thing with the bird first. You little bastard. Yeah, have my lead arrow. Yeah.
Oh. Clap.
Clap. No, wait, that's not what clap means.
Like the being birdie. Let the birdie hit the floor. Let the birdie hit the floor.
Apparently I didn't actually have to loot the bird, but I did get feathers from doing it, but the quest didn't actually require it.
Where I got that?
I don't know. That caught me off guard.
Need like all of a sudden just.
Did you find the bird?
It worked
We
though.
need those messages.
Yeah, I got
Found
bad
your
news about the bird.
Finally. Here's the message it had.
Yes. This is exactly
Oh,
what
dear.
we need. Supply lines, patrol routes.
This
We'll
is
prepare an
exactly what we
ambush.
need.
We're in
A
your
dead
den,
messenger bird.
All of us.
The bird is the word.
Splitter. Well, that would be nice if I had a shotgun. Alright, do you have anything else? No? Alright. Finally finished up your quest assists. Alright, let's try to do this tomb now, finally. You're wanting us to do it real bad. Hey, dear. God damn it. How do you know what a bow is? Did you watch me shoot your mother in a burning forest? Are you Bambi? That's what I'm getting at.
Oh. I was very confused by all that.
I don't know if she got shot.
Like, wait.
I remember the forest being on fire, though.
I think so.
Yeah, the forest fire didn't happen until later. She died like when Bambi was still young.
I don't remember that movie well at all.
I do remember. This is funny. There was at some convention, and they had all these people dressed up as Disney villains. And the ones you recognize: Captain Hook, Jafar, Ursula. And there's one guy there just wearing like hunting gear.
Yeah.
And it took me a second, and I'm like, "Oh shit!"
That's awesome.
That's sick.
I love it.
No.
Although I just realized something. Isn't that the movie with the rabbit named Thumper?
Yes.
Because he would smack his ground with his foot, around with his feet.
and the
That's
skunk
apparently a
named
thing
Flower.
that rabbits actually do.
Yeah, it is.
I never knew that until recently.
What, rabbits
That's not
stomp their
explosive
feet?
enough.
Yeah, stomp. The rabbit stomp.
Yeah, they stomp their feet when they're mad.
Well, also as a warning too.
Mm.
But it's like, hey, stay away.
It's kind of their universal, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
There was a thing letting her pet rabbit almost having an argument. She'd smacked the chair arm and he thumped back, like back and
Yeah.
forth. And I was just like, "Fuck you! No, fuck you!"
it's very petulant of them, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why Kai hates rabbits. They're so cute.
Rabbits.
Fluffos.
Yeah, bunnies.
I've never had a rabbit for a pet, but it seemed
I haven't either.
I had a friend that did. Sure.
I don't mind them, but that's me.
I'm looking for a fuel canister so that I can explode the entrance to the tomb. But I've already... Actually, I think I can make them into bombs. But I tried just using one as fire last time. Didn't work. I don't know if there's another one here. I might have to come back later after the areas respawn. Like I can make fire out of this bottle, but I don't need fire. I need gas canister. I should be able to rig those to explode. Something any around right now. Okay, let's go to the other tomb then. The one that's the DLC one. Let's go hang out with Baba Yaga, shall we? I hear she's nice. That's not intractable. I was wondering if that oil can might be explodable, but I don't think they are. Otherwise it'd be glowy in the glow site. This way. When I come back to gas canister, might be back. Damn it. Dear, our tricky customers.
Mm-hmm.
For a minute there, I was confused at why all these resources I have at maximum are suddenly lootable again, but then I remembered I crafted an upgrade that increases the amount of resources I can carry, so I'm not at maximum anymore. Wayne Ziz. One thing I always found a little weird about the gameplay is stuff like that. I think I just got out of the wall, or those places where I knock down crumbling walls. They keep making me do a 3-hit combo with my pickaxe. And then like, why are they making me press the button 3 times? Why don't I just press the button once and then you animate 3 hits?
Monster combo.
It's just a bit strange.
Yeah.
But whatever. Not a big deal. It's just mildly
Monster
confusing.
combo.
Laura, I found a radio on one of the invaders you killed. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
I can monitor the invaders' frequencies from here while I patch myself up. I'll let you know if I hear anything useful.
I don't remember who that is, but it must be one of the remnant people that we met along the way. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't remember if I need to tag the camps for them to be usable later, but I'll just tag it in case. Okay.
What more can you tell me about the Wicked Veil, Nadia?
My people stay far away from that place. They have for centuries. When the Soviets were here, they tried to build an outpost in the Veil. But they angered Baba Yaga, and she drove them all mad. Grandpa told me all about her.
Yeah.
She lives in a magic house that can walk with the legs of a bird.
This is the Ashley Birch character.
Do you believe all that?
I remember that.
The house with the bird legs.
I trust Grandpa. He was
It's
in the
John
gulag
Wick.
when the Soviets took my grandmother into the Veil to help them study the ruins. The witch killed her, and he's never forgotten that.
But a witch straight out of a Russian folktale. It sounds unlikely.
Just be careful.
After what you've
Something
seen in the first
is in
game?
The Veil.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens in that place.
Ah! Oh! Wow!
What
Laura
was that?
just bounced into orbit.
Oop.
Somebody clip that. That was bizarre.
Shit. Steady.
Shit steady.
Well, better than shitting loose.
Not all crooked.
Yeah. Voice of God. Well, that's
Laura, hang on. I'm picking up a transmission.
being something
You need to hear this.
dramatically.
Overwatch, come in.
No, it's Tomb Raider, not Overwatch.
Immediate extraction.
On game.
What the hell is that? It's walking. How could... What the...
Okay. Doing that. Waiting for it to
Did you hear that?
do the thing,
That was the
and there we
witch.
go. It has been clipped.
Something's definitely
Thank
happening
you.
out there. Whatever it is, we'll
Thank
get
you,
to the
Snoo.
bottom of it.
Of course.
There's one comic I was reading, and it had Baba Yaga the character, but in this one, instead of having a house just on chicken legs, it was on top of a whole giant chicken.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I remember there's this other miniatures war game called War Machine. That's about... I'm not sure exactly what technology era I would say they're in, but it's kind of steampunk with mecha and
No need
mecha
to go
golems.
inside the old temple.
Ooh, hold on. Basically, the idea is there are these... I think they call them warjacks. They're sort of like mecha, except instead of a person going in and piloting them, they're basically magical golems. And then a spellcaster can... certain people with magical powers can direct them. Like they can act on their own, but they have limited intelligence. But if they have somebody guiding them, they can act more powerfully and use special abilities and stuff.
Right.
The game has 4 factions. One of them is sort of like a British Empire with like steampunk technology and like Tesla weapons and stuff. Then there's another faction that's basically like steampunk Russia. And one of their named characters, who's one of these spellcasters that can direct the golems, just goes by the name Baba Yaga, and she's like a snow witch.
Get down to the wooden walkway along the cliff. There should be a rope leading to it. That path will take you straight to the Veil.
And I like what they do, because it's one of those asymmetrical games in the sense that the factions aren't just like all their stuff is equal but just looks different or something.
Right. Like
the British guys, they've got the electric abilities and they've got really good snipers and stuff. The Russian guys have are slower and their artillery is less accurate and stuff like that.
Right.
But their mechs have like the heaviest armor.
Right.
And their spellcasters have like snow abilities and stuff. So I like how they've all got their own different flavors.
Worn by priests during mass.
Miniatures gaming is usually good with that though, but like when you get like MMOs where it's like side versus side,
right?
Like World of Warcraft, Star Wars, The Old Republic, etc. They tend to be kind of bad for just.
There's a small camp.
They get around the concerns of balancing the two sides by just making the two sides identical.
Yeah.
Which makes me sad. Even the Warhammer MMO did that before it shut down.
Yeah.
Grandpa made it that far at least. You're almost into the Veil.
But I remember when Warcraft first came out, like I mentioned this the other day, but when World of Warcraft first came out, both sides had one character class that only they could use.
Yeah.
Only the Alliance could be a Paladin. Only the Horde could be a Shaman.
Yeah.
Then they opened up class options a bit more, and now both sides have both classes. There's lore reasons for it, but it takes away a bit of the uniqueness. You know?
Yeah, some were kind of.
Go ahead.
like when I play Warcraft 2, I can remember, like the Alliance side
Nadia,
had.
I think I found your weapon
like.
rail.
One
I
second.
don't know if it's Baba Yaga, but there's something out here.
Be careful.
Speaking of shamans.
This is her land.
Okay, you were saying?
I can remember that had like you had elven archers on the Alliance side, but you had like troll axe throwers
troll
on
axe
Horde
throwers,
side.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at their stats, they're identical. They just look different.
Yeah.
Crypt instances revealed on maps. That's okay. Triple shot. Well, expert. Okay, those are the finishers. More health. I'll take that. Okay. I do like the theming to it. Like, one of my favorite characters I have in World of Warcraft is a Minotaur Paladin, or as they call them, Tauren.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting to see a Paladin that has been themed after, like, tribal culture.
Mm.
Because in Warcraft, the Taurens, okay, the humans and dwarves and stuff, they're priests and paladins. They don't worship a set god per se. They worship the light, like a concept / energy called the light.
Yeah.
And so that's how paladin ability and priest abilities work. And so when they gave paladin and priest to the Tauren, they themed it into their culture, which is basically inspired by North American, like, native culture.
Right.
You know, they live in, like, they have totem poles, they live in, like, big teepee tents and stuff. So their worship of the light is themed around the concept of sun worship, just to give it that more nature slant to it, which I thought was pretty cool. So I've got a big old paladin minotaur stomping around with, like, sun icons on her armor and stuff. And, oh my god, she is such a good tank. Hold on, document.
Initial contact was made with the elderly native male at 0700. At first, we believed he was participating in an assault on the facility, but he proceeded away and through an unmapped canyon. We received authorization to pursue at a distance, and already we've encountered ruins and other promising signs. We're trying to keep calm out here, but this looks like a big find. That discovery bonus is as good as ours.
And this one.
Nadia, my granddaughter. By now you already know. I am going into the Vale to kill the witch, Baba Yaga. I have gone to seek revenge for your grandmother. There are newcomers in our valley, armed men arriving in helicopters. I do not know what they want, but I know if I am to go, this is my last chance. You deserve to know the truth, to know why. Your grandpa is not a wise man. I have become, with hard work, a good man for your grandmother's sake. But it was not always so. I came from the west, where even a small village has thousands of inhabitants. I was a lazy young man, and I dreamed of an easy life when I joined the party. A comfortable desk in a big city. But they sent me here, to the ends of the earth. To watch men and women work and starve and die, to participate in their punishment. I knew it was evil, but I did not know how to fight until I met her.
I give it 1 star. Would not recommend.
Alright, let's have a quick break there.
Okay.
Before we get into all this craziness.
Negative vote.
This 2 is a little bit more involved than the other ones, because this one was actually a DLC.
Yep.
But it's fun. We'll check it out in a minute.
Hey.
Alright, this is amusing. I was just checking message on some other Discord servers while I was gone there.
Yes.
Yeah.
When he posted a meme, it's a picture of like one of those snack boxes that has like a bunch of different types of snack crackers in it.
Right.
So and it says assorted crackers, and then the caption says, "Just got my ancestry DNA results back."
No.
Oh no.
I've seen the one that it had like in a grocery store aisle, like Asian, Mexican, and it says crackers, and I said, "We prefer Caucasian, thank you very much."
Although we will also accept Caucasioids.
Well, if you know the background of Caucasioids and what other races were called along with that, because I do, it's like probably best we don't use that anymore.
That's probably true, although I don't know the details. That's probably for the best.
Well, let's just say for the more Asiatic people, the term was also one they used to use on people that had Down syndrome.
Oh no.
Yeah. When I first heard, I was like, wait a minute. That's not right. Like, that's not right.
That's not right.
Oh, done it right.
Yeah, I think that's an exit out from later. Can't do anything about that door from the side anyway. Alright. Let's go meet Baba Yaga. I'm sure she's quite friendly.
Sure. She's a nice lady.
Oh, look, flower spooge.
Oh,
boy.
So in other words,
jizzing on me.
Holland drifting here.
Mississippi in April, in other words.
What did you say? What did you say? I can't understand you.
Something's wrong.
Ah, peas.
Oh, this cave is full of the good stuff, apparently.
It's too late.
Ah, peas.
No, must be dreaming. Isn't real. Can't be.
Hello, gentlemen.
Ah, peas.
See, this valley has a leak from the warp in it.
Keep moving.
Uh-oh.
Leak? A leak?
Yeah,
What other
warp
disease does it
leak.
have?
Lara.
Dad? No, it can't be.
Can't be.
Wait.
No.
It's called.
Can't.
Wait.
I
where
said
am
can't.
How far does
Yeah, I
this
seem
path
to have
go?
discovered a cunt.
It's not real.
In fact, I will send you that link.
Dad, stop, please.
Hello.
God, no. Got to get out of here.
You weren't expecting Tomb Raider to have jump scares, were you?
There is a truth behind all life.
I wasn't looking at my screen at
just
that
want to
point.
leave,
I guess for the
please.
best.
Probably. Some sort of shadow form jumped out at us and
No, this isn't.
attacked us, but then disappeared. Because we were imagining it.
I'll put it in links.
Alrighty.
Who are you? Why are you doing this? Stop! God damn you, stop!
For me, it is too late.
Daniel.
Me, it is too late.
Man, I'm really angry at this pollen.
No, don't do it, please.
Someday. You'll understand.
Who are you?
Come and see.
And I thought she was gonna be nice.
So when did the flying monkeys show up?
Any minute now, apparently.
That's not possible. It's just a myth.
She's here. I'm sorry, Lara. There is no return. You're going
to rot out here.
She's got a great voice when it goes into actual Baba Yaga voice, though.
You gotta get sick Sean. Fuck. Jesus, lady.
Off anchor!
Bad dog. Bad three-eyed dog.
Ah. I don't know what part of me that was, but I think I need it. Can you give it back? Ah. Excuse me.
Out, grouse.
No, this. Oh God, don't. This can't.
Can I get your lozenge, lady?
Yeah.
Not real.
Well, there's like a anytime there's been a Baba Yaga in a game or well, anything really, always has a house with legs on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the legend.
Can you hear me?
Yeet.
Are you there?
And sometimes you.
I'm here. I think.
What happened? You started coughing, said something about flowers and pollen, and then nothing. I thought the witch had killed you.
I think I was hallucinating. God, I hope I was.
Hallucinating? There is a flower in a valley that can bring on visions, but the effects are too weak.
Not when you're in a cave full of them.
Any idea what this place is? I see ducts and pipes. Soviet from the looks of it.
It has to be the outpost the Soviets built to study the ruins. My grandmother was a scholar and they brought her here to help with her research, but that was the last time Grandpa ever saw her.
Soviets in
There was only
Siberia.
one survivor,
It's more
an
likely than you
officer who
think.
stumbled out a few weeks later. He said the witch made them do things.
Dude. Yeah, Burnswell, that's what I was saying. You'd think she'd be more open-minded about myths after fighting a lightning goddess.
Yeah.
That's what I said earlier.
Yeah.
Poppies.
Just you wait till the third game. Oh, Nelly.
Babe.
Shit's gonna get real weird.
Is there a fridge involved?
I don't get it.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, right.
Nuking the fridge.
I mean, I don't care about the realisticness of that. It was a fun scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this is.
Hold on.
I never held my daughter. They took her from me on the surgeon's table. I tried to fight, but they are many, and I am weary. Then they dragged me away, split our 3 hearts apart. They have taken me to a hidden vale where ancient ruins stand. They tell me if I cooperate, I will see my family again. I will never trust these monsters, but I do not have a better plan. There are curious flowers here. Exposure to the pollen has left my captors rattled, and they will go no further than our little outpost. They brought me here in the hopes that my expertise in botany would help them find a counteragent. At last, the state has a use for me. I nod and smile. I play the part, but they cannot break me again. For my daughter, for Ivan, I will live.
Now, is it just me? Does that voice sound real familiar?
Maybe a little bit.
Doesn't she sound a lot like the angry Russian yelling during that hallucination?
A little.
Someone's been in here recently, building on top of the ruins.
What do you see?
Some sort of makeshift distillery. Smells just like the flowers. Shit! Of course! She's refining the pollen, weaponizing it. There's no magic here, Nadia, just someone very clever.
Wait, but if it is just a person, then wouldn't the pollen affect her too?
If she can resist it somehow, then so can we.
She's probably got like a counteragent / antidote / inoculation or something. Pull that back. Oh, wait. There. And then... Pow! Beat it.
It's been weeks since these bastards dragged me from the Gulag, from Ivan and my daughter, to this strange veil. They have tasked me with finding some way of counteracting the unusual effects of the pollen that hangs in the air. Now I believe I have a formula that may work. An extract from the seed pods of the plant. The liver of animals that consume the flowers and have metabolized the toxins. A phenothiazine derivative. The last ingredient is a risk. They have it in large quantities around the Gulag, where it is used as an insecticide. It may also act as a rudimentary antipsychotic, bearing a chemical similarity to other compounds I have studied. Or it may be poisonous. I will try the mixture on myself tonight.
She found a counteragent.
I found something.
It may have caused her to go
wrote down
insane.
a formula that might counteract the effects of the pollen.
It has to be for my grandmother. The witch killed her, and now she's going to help save Grandpa, just like in one of his stories.
Nadia.
Girl.
Have faith, Laura.
I think your grandpa is the witch. Your grandma is the
I'll help you
witch.
find what you need.
Alright, there we go. Now we're back here. And we're supposed to fast travel to... Where the hell is she? That's just all over the place. Okay, we'll go to locking camp.
I don't have the words to describe what I just saw. I went inside the wicked veil looking for Nadia's grandfather, but I barely escaped with my life. It was like a fairy tale, but through a broken, filthy mirror. And Dad, I know intellectually it was all in my mind, but the gunshot is still ringing in my ears. There's something terrible going on in there, and while I don't believe that it is magic, it is extraordinary. I have to find out what's behind all this, but first, I have to find a way to see clearly.
Just so everybody knows, I have reinforced the shaft, ladies.
And reinforce the shaft and polish the barrel. Hey.
Heyo. Alright, and locking camp. This one. So what have you been up to today, Snow?
Woke up a little bit
Alright,
late.
Nadia, I'm back at the installation.
Been playing my game a bit. Final Fantasy. Got a shower. Got food. Hung out in voice chat, and now I'm here.
Not a bad day.
Any advice on where to start looking?
Yeah. Not too bad at all.
First, the seed pods. The flowers grow inside the caves around there. There's never enough of them to make you sick, so you should be able to gather some safely. The livers should be easy. The deer around there feed on the flowers, so you'll just need to track them down. As for the insecticide, I have an idea where we might find some. Grandpa taught me to read Russian, so I'm going through some old equipment manifests to see if I can find out where they stored it. I'll let you know when I find it.
Have you not seen how hard it is to shoot these deer?
Supplies now.
Yeah. And when you get the livers, give me a side of coleslaw.
Oh wait, you're friendly. Send it over with an Uber. Uber Eats or DoorDash? One of those.
Yep. Is waiter still a thing?
It's
Never
the
heard of it.
flowers. Just need the seed pods.
We
now.
had it a lot around here. When I worked at this pizza place, we got a lot of waiter drivers. In fact, I think we had a deal with him. There was a sticker in the window at one point, so I think it's like.
In fact, I would have to say that that name's a little ironic.
It's WAITR, no E.
Considering that it's a service that allows you to avoid going into the restaurant and having to actually have wait staff.
We could use you.
It's the non-waiter waiter.
Well, I guess they were officially waiters, just waiters in cars.
I suppose so. Think about it.
Laura, I got something you'll want to hear. I'm patching you in.
Bravo team is still MIA. We haven't got any transmissions since the distress call. We're gonna need to send a rescue party.
Finish up your patrol around the Soviet installation. See if you can pick up the native girl's trail. She's involved in Bravo's disappearance somehow. And we need better intel before we send more of you in there.
Copy that.
Oh, maybe I should have had better intel.
I'm in one of those old safe houses, and I have snares set outside. Worst case, there's a tunnel underneath I can use to escape, but I still need to finish going over the manifest.
The invaders have taken most of the Eastern Valley, but we need to keep them from moving any farther.
Greetings. The Soviets abandoned this place in a hurry, and they left salvage all over the valley. Put it to good use.
I'm here to help. What can I do?
Our first task is to learn all we can about the invaders. We need any information you can gather in the old prison. I won't lie to you, it will be dangerous. But that information is worth the risk.
Your face is dangerous.
Will you help us?
I'll head there as soon as I'm able.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I'll be here.
I'm just saying things. Alright.
We noticed.
Yeah. Or deers and caves, anyway. Think about that first. Oh, while I'm here, I'm gonna see if the fuel canister has reset. Maybe I can try to explode this tomb entrance yet. I just don't remember exactly where I got it from. It's around here somewhere. Surprise!
Oh, rude.
What was that?
That was an arrow. Here, you can have one too.
Well,
Actually, I think I'm supposed to be able to use these as explosives. Proximity. See if I can make it work though. Yeah, for sure to set it off. Oh, it's just another shrapnel one. This was supposed to drop. Oh, I'm supposed to drop something on it. There we go. Alright, that tomb's open for later. Oh, here's our deer liver. Now we need, are you sure it's not Monday or Tuesday? Because I'm on another Seeb hunt. I hear a waffle.
I mean,
That chemical from grandmother's notes? Phenothiazine. I think I found it. They stored it in the lower levels of the copper mill
like
where they used it to deal with the termites in the summer.
Are you sure it's the same chemical, Nadia?
I'm sure it's the chemical grandmother's recipe mentioned, but I am not sure that it will be safe to drink.
Suppose we'll find
Good
out.
point.
I'll head there now.
It's the pinch of fennel.
Yeah. Stuff to do down here, do we? I might as well grab this relic while I'm in there. Oh, hello. Hark, I have discovered motherfuckers.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Let's do a sweep.
Give me some
How's that for a sweep?
Sweep these nuts.
I swept your butt with bullets. It's mildly annoying that their guys come back when you leave an area and return, but I guess it allows you to farm XP if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Alright. So we can get our thigh chemicals in here somewhere.
Stalin. Or no, Lenin, sorry. For the glorious Mother Russia.
Yes. So I missed this stuff last time.
Another sculpture. But this one looks like a game.
Well, it's Connect 4.
I was about to say. Pretty sneaky, sis.
I'm actually curious what that game would be. Well, that was the relic that was had tagged anyway. Let's grab this. Looked almost like it could have been vaguely similar to like a Russian version of Go or something. You ever play Go?
Yeah.
I like Go.
Mm-hmm.
It's more fun than chess.
On that thing I bought years ago, it's a book teaching you how to play it, and it came with like a little starter set. I mean, the board is made of cardboard, and the pieces are all plastic, but you know.
Nothing wrong with that. It works. That's what a lot of board games are nowadays, anyway. I still never really got much of a chance to play Iron Dragon, which is a board game I bought a while back. It looked interesting.
Yeah.
Game about a fantasy setting. Trains.
Found it. I'm mixing the ingredients now. Any word on that patrol?
Just picked up another transmission. They're on the move.
Where are they now?
They're... oh no. They're headed straight for you. You might be able to sneak past them, but it's probably too
Fuck
late.
did they know I was in here? This is some Plotmethium bullshit.
Curse your,
All aboard
curse
the
your,
plot train.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Away.
We got her flanked.
Do actually. I don't like it.
Grenade out. I got her. Grenade out.
Motherfucker out.
Light her up! God damn it, take her out!
Look, I'm not up for dating. You can't take me out. I'm I'm married to my work.
Ready to see if the antidote works?
I'm not exactly looking forward to it, to be
Take
honest.
me out to the ball game.
If it does, I'll make my own and meet you at the Vale.
I'll let you know when I get there.
Find me some peanuts and Cracker Jack.
Yeah. Alright, so I think I need to explosive this. Do I have anything nearby I can make an explosive? I didn't before, but I've got some extra skills now. I think I will need, I think a gas canister is the only thing I can make into a proper bomb. The other bombs I make are shrapnel bombs, which are not going to explode a metal barricade.
Nope.
But I don't see any gas canisters lying around. It's not down here. I guess we'll just leave that tomb for later. There's a few of these places I've been having to leave until I get my grenade launcher. Actually, how many coins do I have? 68. I think I need like 175 for the grenade launcher or something silly.
Yeah.
And yeah, Burnswell, these adamantine bones are very handy for Lara. Lara. Okay. That was another cave I need to explode to get into. I can do this tomb over here, though. And I need to find more flags. They're all over the place, so... there's this stuff. I'm gonna do this tomb next. There's so much stuff to do.
There's so much room for activities.
Yeah. Hunting Murica style.
It's coming right for us.
It's coming right for us. That's a South Park reference. If anybody's confused.
I know.
I got it.
And where its right leg should be was Patrick Duffy.
That was the same episode, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was like first season episode.
Vintage.
Yeah, well, they didn't give a shit. They
still don't.
Yeah,
Looks like
but
this was abandoned in a hurry. The Soviets find something
No, I don't know.
Oh, that was when they could just making shit up. I don't think it had to be anything significant to anything current event or anything. It's like, let's just come up with weird shit.
I think they still do that too, don't they? Sort of go back and forth between the two.
Yeah.
The Prophet was persecuted, and so were his followers.
It's always the way, isn't it?
There's water down below. Sounds like a great volume.
Water.
Water.
A coin with an image of a city stamped in gold. And there's the Prophet. This was likely an official coin of Katesh.
Nice beard.
Like, what does Bruce Lee drink when he's thirsty? Water.
Water.
Oh God.
Prophet's icon cast in gold.
That's pretty.
The metal workers of the city started to develop their own style, but it's still similar to Byzantine craftwork.
Oh yeah.
That's real pretty. I like it.
That's got to be part of the works.
Only it don't works.
I don't think it will drop just yet, game. If it's all the same to you. I have to at some point, though, because I can't climb back up. Alright, so, yeah! Let's not get mulched by those things.
Yeah, that would be a very bad idea.
So we climb back out. But that's for later. Because first, we must go on an adventure. What is that? What's this red thing?
Adventure time!
Ooh. It's a shooty box.
The water's eroding everything. At this rate, there won't be much left in a few decades.
Ah, yes. I vaguely
It's a
remember this
cistern.
one. Very vaguely. This fancy water place. I don't think I can get in here this season. I'm going to try. Maybe I can and I use the skill to get out. Nope, that's what I thought. They're not going to let me have it that easy. That's the goal of the whole place. They can't just let me have it.
Nope. They're making you work for it.
Yeah, exactly. This way. That was not productive. But it respawns because I need it. So that's handy. Aw. I wanted to blast it while I was in the air. That would have been very dramatic. I'm sure all this water is good for the gun.
It is. Welcome back, love.
Lord and lady, it's out there. Right in center.
That's good for
Water markings on the wall.
All I heard was Lord and Lady in front and center. What?
It's like freaking Normandy out there, dodging bullets left, right, and center.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, you shouldn't have given all those AKs to your kids then.
But they have they have little dart pistols.
Dart
It's okay.
pistol.
I joined in too. I have a 6-shot. There's only one.
Oh. It's almost like when we're
Should be able to swim through now.
That's cheating.
It's out there with the marksman rifles. No. M1 Grand is not a marksman rifle because they did not marksman the beaches at Normandy, my boy. They assaulted them.
Yes. Salt water.
I saw a silly thing about people referring to the dodge roll mechanics in Dark Souls. It's like it would have been a very different war if they'd if the Allies had just dodge rolled their way up the beach on Normandy.
Well, yeah.
This is a very silly mental image.
I wish I could afford an AK. Imagine me. I'd have an AK for everyone in the house.
They've all been shot? No, Burnswell, you don't know how dodge rolling works, sir. When you dodge roll, you're invincible for half a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly how that works.
Exactly. Yes, of course. Dodge.
Dark Souls is
Be more than enough oil to light the
110%
passages
accurate to your
below.
life.
But be careful transporting it. We have not perfected the refining process, and it is still volatile. You will know the man who supervises the construction. We all do. Without his knowledge of the Earth,
This
none
sounds
of us
like
would
you
have
had a fun
survived along
time.
the difficult journey. Do not linger.
A little bit of
And
fun,
if he
yeah.
asks for word of his wife and child, feign ignorance. He cannot accept that they perished during our exodus and expects them to arrive any day. We need his genius, and I fear if he saw the truth, we might lose him entirely.
Well, that's sad.
And if you do a side roll while shooting, your accuracy increases exponentially.
Yeah. Some games do that.
What's accuracy? My only question.
I thought I said accuracy.
Another barrier.
My bad.
I heard accuracy.
This one.
But I guess Kai didn't.
I heard accuracy.
That's a good word.
Which is close, but you know.
Huh. So this looks like another door I could blast open, but there's no explosives around here to do it. Oh well. Whee! I'm supposed to do there. It is stopping me. Alright, I'm gonna need to do this thing again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that goes over there, that turns, and then it... Oh, I can get up the top of that thing. That's what this is. I recognize those, climbing marks on the wall. What for the climbings and such?
Yep. Climbings and the things that are hidden.
And the glavin.
Well,
this is back in here again. I just got in here differently last time. Okay. Some explodies. There are no explodies. Something by hand? No? But I reinforced my shaft and everything.
Oh, the
It's
jokes
true.
and puns have been everywhere.
You know, I
Well-
recently bought an upgrade for my my climbing picks called Reinforced Shaft. So that has not been left alone.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are explodies, but how... Oh, maybe I can throw them over. They don't explode at impact, they just explode when I shoot them.
Wouldn't expect that it would have been left alone.
Well,
Bunch of fucking degens.
yeah. There was one
why you
where a
love
gun
us.
had. There was one gun that had a polished barrel. I was like, really?
Oh my.
Reinforce the shaft and polish the barrels. Ready to party.
Sounds like we're already partying.
Earlier I was talking about polished bores over in
Hey.
my own chat.
I mean,
'Cause
bacon's pretty tasty whether you polish it first or not.
Hey.
not that kind. I was gonna correct myself.
Damn
Not
it.
that kind of bore.
Or
Canister of fuel. Are you just gonna stay there?
Sure.
Canister?
Canister.
What is with the physics engine today?
Oh, canister.
Actually, Kai, you might want to review the clip that Snow made while you were gone.
It was glorious.
It was.
Glorious.
Boing.
What the hell even happened there?
With boing.
I just want to point out the floating canister happened again.
Yes.
But I got to it fast enough that I was able to grab it. But it did float again.
Boing. I can't stop watching it.
You're just gonna put that on auto repeat, aren't you?
It's already doing it on its own.
I knew Kai would like that. So much fun listening to you enjoy yourself. Alright, what do we get here?
I'll stop.
It's an ancient manuscript on the gifts of the earth.
I can't.
Kai is gonna get an old gold prospector laugh. When she gets
It
older.
doesn't even
I
matter
agree.
if I'm watching it. I can see it in my head. Okay, that's enough. Where's the fucking porn? I need to get this out of my head.
Such fun.
Oh no.
Hey, love.
Son
Boing.
of a bitch.
Yes, I am that type of person. It's like, don't you dare, Just one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you in quarters.
That's an interesting new variation on that.
A little bit more robust than fuck you in half.
Yeah? Definitely takes more effort. Very thorough.
Oh shit.
That was almost as glorious as the Royman Williams day.
Fuck you!
I contributed.
Welcome back.
How did that even happen, though?
Typo?
The eye just fucking migrated. That's more than a typo.
The eye fucked off into an entirely different word.
The eye was thinking with fucking portals, and I don't know how that works.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, I only need 120 for that. Okay. But, let's see. That was definitely a very strange Portal 2 mod.
King a silly day.
Tis a silly place.
That's a tad silly.
No one lives in your wear area place.
Wait, what?
No one lives in your wear area place.
Where area place? What?
proof that somebody else on this planet speaks the same way I do, and I feel bad for that sumbitch. That didn't come out of my mouth originally. Somebody else used those words.
Some poor
No one lives in your where area place.
What is it? What were they trying to say?
No one lives. No one is out where you live.
Oh, oh, where WHERE? Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
No one lives in your where area place, as in you live out in the sticks and there's nowhere around you.
Where area? That is
like,
good.
What do you mean you have one of those stores? No one lives in your where area place.
Who is this poor bastard?
Somebody Varga knows.
That fucking figures.
It's funny, he knows two people that speak that way, and one of them's me.
Much to all of our entertainments. Yeah, I was hoping to zip line back up there, but I can't reach it. Yeah, well. That's... Yeah, that's in the cave. What happened again? Kai, nothing? Really? Trying to hold it back. Oh, dear.
What engine is this built on?
The silly putty engine, apparently.
The silly engine.
Rise of the Tomb Raider. Fuck.
You know, this shit happening the first time I played this game.
I bet it's on Havoc.
Cry Havoc?
I've never seen Havoc do shit like that as often. Sometimes, but not this frequently.
It's famous for it.
Infamous, if you will.
I love that game. Pardon me, gentlemen.
No, it's actually powered by an in-house game engine. Okay, so they built it from the ground up.
And it does
That
this.
explains it.
It's called Foundation.
Outsourcing.
That's actually a really good name for a game engine. Foundation. I approve of that.
Yeah. It's a pretty good engine, except for the physics.
Yeah. I don't know. The physics are quite amusing.
Apparently, a new Tomb Raider game has been announced, and it will be using Unreal 5, so...
Yep.
That's cool.
I like how, very, very shortly after, what the fuck is it? What are they called? Embracer Group bought the stuff that Square Enix was selling. They really quickly announced Tomb Raider and Deus Ex games, and also another one that I don't remember. But those were the two I was excited about.
As they said about the...
Sorry?
About the new Deus Ex, we did want this.
Yeah. Jensen didn't ask for it, but we did. I always found that funny, like, how much he'd complain about, like, all these cybernetic implants. He's like, I didn't ask for this. So it's like, yeah, but they had to make you into, like, 80% machine to save your life after what happened to you. You didn't ask for all these implants, but the alternative was dying, so quit whining.
Yeah.
Also, they're fucking awesome implants, so also stop whining.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually something one of the big proponents of pushing this technology forward, that sort of transhuman aspect, was asked, very honestly, what about the moral dilemma? And he scoffed. He said, "There is no moral dilemma."
Yeah, I was
He
gonna
said
say,
because
what moral
when your life is on the line, that's when your morals get real flexible.
Yeah.
Well, that's true, but also, what moral argument in the first place, anyway?
Because
there's nothing immoral about
supposedly,
implants.
well, what they're saying now is that there's a possible morality question because some implants are rather extreme. Is it morally acceptable to cut off a perfectly functioning limb to replace it with something else? And it's like, does this fall under, do no harm?
Only enough for 2 doses. Got to
That's
hit
why
them.
there's big debate about it. And the people who are for it are like, no, there is no debate.
Okay, I see where it's coming from. I was thinking, like, there's no moral question for the person, but I guess the moral question is for the doctor, whether they should allow the person to do it or not.
And the doctor, the argument is that the doctor has no right to tell you what you can and cannot do with your body.
I would agree for the most part, but we've seen examples of, for example, that lady who had, I forget what they call it, but that thing where she felt like she was supposed to be disabled, but she wasn't. Kind of a dysmorphia thing, but not gender dysmorphia.
Those things, yeah.
There was that lady who was
of dysmorphia, yeah.
She felt like she was supposed to be blind, so she got somebody to help permanently blind her. That shit should not, decisions like that, I would think the doctor should step in there. Like, no, you should not have this person permanently blind herself.
Well, at that point, that's where you get a psychologist involved.
Yeah. That's the kind of case where you have no right to tell somebody what to do with their body. That's one of the exceptions, I would say.
I would say that to a point. If psychology cannot help, if medication cannot help, then there is only one treatment left. It's the same thing with gender dysphoria. The reason people get the reason people go through that process, which medically speaking is a mutilation, is because it is the only treatment that works for a lot of people.
True.
Like,
also, Nameless Azure, thank you for bringing all that delicious looking pizza.
Yes, hi, Az. Yes, it's one of those things. It's like, if one is acceptable, then you have to accept both. If one is not okay, then you're stopping other people from doing it too.
It's working, Nadia. Everything looks.
There is no clean answer.
Word, but nothing like the last time.
Good. I've made my own antidote and enough for Grandpa, if we find him. I'm on my way to meet you now.
And I would argue that just because somebody might regret it, or just because somebody did regret it, should not prevent somebody else from doing it. That is their choice, not somebody else's.
But in the case of the disability dysmorphia, or whatever it's called, I would have to say that has got to be a real serious last resort, though.
I was lost in here.
Absolutely, and generally it is.
Yeah.
I
wonder if
there was a guy...
that lady in question went to a psychologist or not. I should hope so.
The guy that Burnswell is talking about, that's actually the guy I was just quoting, who said your morals get real flexible when your life is on the line. He's one of the proponents for transhumanism. It may not have turned out exactly how he wanted it. It is exactly what he was trying to do.
The guy who did the subdermal computer?
Yep, it was an Arduino Mega, if I recall, and it had certain sensors that was designed to keep track of his blood pressure, his blood sugar, and everything else. It wasn't the perfect technology. It was way big. It did stick out like a box, but it worked exactly as it was intended. That was version 1.
That's pretty cool. All right, give me 1
It really
second.
was.
We got a narration to do for a sec.
When the guilt of working in the gulag became too strong, I would lash out. A stolen screwdriver, misplaced paperwork, Futile gestures that would never balance the scales. One day, I was caught taking a stupid risk. Your grandmother, Serafima, she spoke up, took the blame. They beat her, mercilessly. But I was saved. When I found a moment to thank her, she spat at my feet, told me I had risked my life for nothing, challenged me to do more. You have so much of her in you, Nadia. At first, I thought her cruel. She gave me no credit for my little acts of disobedience. That place, the Gulag, it crushed hope and ate what little scraps of dignity remained. Every day I did not fight it with my whole heart, she said. I was complicit in atrocity. She demanded my honesty because she knew I was capable. It was the greatest kindness anyone had ever shown me, and I loved her for it.
And just for context, I believe this lady they're talking about is the botanist grandma who is causing the hallucinations in this place. I think
This
it's
is
the same
Trinity
person. Either that or
Gear.
her mother.
Must have walked right past it last time. No bodies, though. Maybe they're still alive in here.
It's all wrong.
Oh, hi,
Lost the
Dan.
old man entering the Vale. Lost
Hello.
Fisher. Lost
Hey,
Parker. Just gone. No trace. Can't trust the eyes. Seeing things. Corpses. Worse. Things that walk. So huge they hide the stars. Can't tell what's real. Not sure there is a real. Is it the eyes? The eyes have to go. My hands are steady now. Billings goes first. Stop! Hold still!
See, I'd be worried about getting magnet implants in my fingers because I would be worried that it would fuck with any electronics I used.
Well, actually, that was the entire purpose of them, is
Nadia,
to interact
what
with
do you know about
electronics.
Right, but I'd be worried that it would mess with my computer if I touched my computer, like messed it with it in a bad way. You know?
That's not really a thing.
Maybe the magnets aren't strong enough for that, or you probably have to touch like your hard drive or something for that to be a
Not
thing.
even that.
Ruins
Modern
out
hard
here.
drives are
Even before the witch made her home there.
Not
people
vulnerable to
avoided
that
the
sort of
Vale.
thing.
The founders
not
were building
really.
a shrine
They're
out there, but
shielded.
something happened to them. None of us have been in there in generations. Be careful. Even if your visions weren't real, that place is still deadly.
I'd be up for getting subdermal implants if they were, if I found their function to be useful to me, like in a way that I was interested in, There's potential there.
Just wolves.
I'm
Damn.
not sure I have the ability, financially or otherwise, to develop implants, but I am working on something very similar.
Cool. I don't know what I would want if I got something like that.
The magnets that they were using were specifically designed to not be rejected. They had like 5 different special coatings to make sure that the body saw it as nothing more than a subdermal piercing, if that. They were completely inert. In other words, body didn't give a shit.
That's good.
We decided to wait until winter passed. We hid supplies. We made maps. We planned. I got her a work detail indoors. She helped me find ways to slow the grinding gears of the Gulag. If I could disable a hydraulic lift, I could keep 100 men from one day in the mines. Cut the wiring of a few trucks. There would be no special work projects for another week. I took greater risks, but once I had met your grandmother, I could not return to the sin of ignorance. We knew that the child would complicate our escape, and she hid it as long as she could. And then, without warning, they took her away. Our daughter was given to a nursemaid among the native prisoners, and they dragged Seraphima away to the Vale. I tried to stop them, fighting in the open. I stood in front of the transport truck, prepared to kill to save her. But there were too many of them. I screamed my farewell as they dragged me away. And I don't know if she heard.
Well, that definitely confirms it. That this is definitely Nadia's grandparents. That way. All right.
Oh, damn.
Mm? Oil on the ground. There's your magic fire.
I just found a source for new injectable biomagnets.
Oh. What's all that
These are-
rattling noise in the background?
Not sure.
Somebody's rattling something once in a while.
I'm up on
Probably
the first
Dan.
of the ruins now. This doesn't
Might be
look
Isaac,
like
my
a
cousin.
shrine.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
Functional.
that's
I
what
see
it is.
ropes and wooden gears.
The Founders built lifts elsewhere in the valley to move people or supplies between the peaks, but they've all fallen apart now. That has got to be what it is. See if you can make your way up to the top. I'll be right there. I'm in
Dan,
the
you recognize
canyon
that
now.
voice?
I'll let you know when I've arrived.
That sounds very familiar.
It should. It should,
I'm bad
especially
at
to you.
place.
The others are out there.
Yeah.
I can hear them.
Ashley Birch.
Moment of clarity.
Ah,
It's
okay.
slipping. Coming less frequently. We're sick. Poisoned.
I know that
Something.
name.
Doesn't matter.
You do.
Forgot why we came here. Forgot where we were before. Barely remember who I am. Someone else here. Walking amongst us as we grovel and weep. A spirit. A goddess. A demon. She is whispering. We listen. Listen.
One of the best characters in all of Borderlands. Actually, if you guys haven't seen it, by the way, I don't think it's updated in a long time, but there's a YouTube channel called... Actually, I don't know if it's the name of the YouTube channel or just the videos, but look up on YouTube something called Hey Ash, What You Playin'? Very funny videos. Also, they're
I
interesting.
thought
because
that
not only
sounded
do-
like Tina.
Yeah, not only do they feature Ashley Birch, but also her brother and her father, which is interesting because her brother was the lead writer on Borderlands 2. So you get to see the maniac who wrote that fucking game. Seriously though, they're very good videos. I would recommend checking them out. Are you okay over there, Dan?
Yeah, I'm just adjusting in my chair. My chair's a little squeaky.
Ah, okay.
Sorry about that. It figures this thing won't pick up my voice, it'll cut me off, but if my chair squeaks or ice rattles, it'll come through loud and clear.
You're not right? The irony of it all. Alright, let's see. Okay, and then... That'll hold it in place.
Oh, this could make me a very happy girl.
Uh-oh.
Oh. What's up?
Oh, they have all sorts of different kinds of implants these days.
Of the magnetic and mechanical variety?
They have a lot better magnetic ones than they did before. Granted, you pay for a lot better. These things are like $100 a piece.
Mm.
But not only are they titanium coated on the inside, they're then coated in glass, which is completely medically inert. Now,
Making it
bioglass,
safe.
bioglass is a little bit different from regular glass. It's incredibly impact resistant. But they also have like LED implants with near field coils, so if you go near something that has like NFC, it'll light up.
What's NFC?
Near field communication.
Something? Communication. Okay. And what is that used for typically?
It's used wireless data transfer.
Okay.
Wireless pay mostly, like your Google Pay, Apple Pay. That's through.
So basically, it lights up
NFC
if you get close to a communication node kind of thing.
Yeah, that too. Also, they have entire NFC tags. So, say you have you work in an office building or whatever, and you have like an NFC tag that you use to get in the door. Fuck that! Just program the one that you put in your hand 5 months ago, and you're all set. Boom.
Yeah.
You can't lose it if it's in your body.
Better run.
Sounds
well,
like
that means
future
instead
currency.
of stealing the key card, they'll chop your hand off instead.
Well, no, they just wipe it.
I don't know. It sounds cool, but on the other hand, I don't feel like having your key card's really that big of a burden.
There's so many things that you can do with NFC, though. It's not just that. Like, again, you know, no touch or no swipe credit cards use it. Your phones use it. Like, everything uses NFC. Imagine not carrying any of those things.
People are going to still want to carry their phones for other reasons, though.
Well, okay, fine. You can still carry your phone, but anything else that uses near-field communication, if it's a passive device, you don't need it anymore, because it's programmed. You already have it.
Yeah.
And if something changes again, you just wipe it to 0. Get a new credit card, change it. They're completely reprogrammable.
One in each finger for each credit card you got.
Right?
I'd make sure the one that I went in and paid bills with was the middle finger.
Yeah. I like that. Okay, so let's see.
This is an amazing piece of future tech, and it's here today.
This is like the first step to having a HUD and using like your hands to do everything. Like, eventually we won't need to carry phones because we can summon all of that up on a HUD and use our fingers with the built-in, you know, necessary things to manipulate a, well, not literally a hologram, but projected for us, probably an augmented reality, to be able to access apps, you know, swap in between credit cards, make phone calls, do all of that. That's eventually all going to be implant-based.
In Cyberpunk, you can just have that on a heads-up display in your cyber eyes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, I want that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like the call is routed directly into your ear.
I want to have like
it's
the equivalent of I want to have like the equivalent of Google Maps, like just in my eyes. You know?
It's that. Well, in order for that
Real-life
technology
mini-map.
to be a thing, in order for that technology to be a thing faster, we need to start getting this shit now.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, I mean,
imagine
real-life
actually
mini-map.
having a mini-map, or even better, you know, like in video games where it gives you the follow this path. It actually shows up in the overworld. You could literally have that.
I mean, we have that on car windshields now. Oops.
It's actually a really neat way how they do that too.
It's very interesting because you have to be looking at it at a very specific angle for it to show up, so that way it doesn't obscure your vision while you're driving. My mother's
all it
car
is
has that.
is either some of them use a high contrast LCD, some of them use an LED screen, and it just reflects off a very specific panel on the windshield.
Just behind you. Don't
It's
go anywhere
very
without me.
interesting.
I love it.
That was my
Walking
favorite
Hut.
feature of Mazda.
But like
Look at
today's,
that. The witch has kept the lift running all this time. It looks like she even made a few improvements, but
By the way, Kai, I don't know if you were
think
here
those
when we
hopes will
arrived
survive
here,
many more trips.
but this is Baba Yaga's
Only
veil.
needs to make one.
2. I'd like to come back down. Eventually.
Turns out Baba Yaga is this lady's grandma.
Nice.
And she's a botanist, not a witch.
Of course.
Because it's all
That
about
makes sense.
hallucinatory
Try
flower
pulling that
pollen.
lever over on the platform. Maybe it'll get us moving.
I mean, the lever I used to summon it? Yeah, maybe. Although I find it interesting how they took this myth and just explained it with science when there's straight up actual magic in the game.
Right.
Or in the storyline, I should say. We haven't seen any. We haven't seen any magic in this game specifically so far, other than the legends
Your
of
witch
an immortal
is
prophet.
clever. Everything in this
But we
veil
don't know
is
how true
arranged
that
to
is.
perpetuate the myth of Baba Yaga, and the pollen does the rest. The last time I saw the lift, it looked nothing like this.
What did you see?
Just as the legend says, a house walking on giant bird legs, but without the pollen, it's just an old contraption.
I'm sorry. I was so sure of Grandpa's story.
She's Russian, someone who knew the myth well. Nadia, it's possible that your grandfather will know who she is.
Oh,
he
he
was
knows.
a prisoner in the Gulag, you said.
He knows real
I
well.
didn't say that. Not exactly. Grandpa was a guard. My grandmother was the prisoner. She was a brilliant scientist, and they brought her out to the Vale to help study something in the ruins. But then the witch came.
The pollen.
Grandpa never forgave himself.
Killing the witch won't bring her back, but I understand. Let's just hope we can reach him in time.
It's because the witch is her.
And we found plenty of documents to settle that along the way.
Yeah, basically in closing, when it comes to these little implants and shit, today's weird NFC RFID tags and LEDs you can program through your skin and can detect near field communication auras, I guess is a word for them, and magnets. That's today. Tomorrow you're going to get an implant and it's just you're going to be able to just tap into Google with a thought.
That'd be awesome. I want that.
Nadia? How?
Hello,
It's
Ivan.
the pollen. Here, let me. Grandpa, can you hear me?
I tried. I couldn't save her. I tried.
Shh, it's okay now. I'll stay with him, Laura. It's time. You only have one more dose remaining. Make it count.
Yeah, I'm all for this technology advancing. There's some cool stuff. Alright, one more narration.
They put me with the other Russian prisoners.
And then we get to meet Grandma.
I could see the hate in their eyes, and I didn't blame them. To them, I was just another instrument of their humiliation and degradation. I didn't tell them what I tried to do. It could never be enough. When the revolt came, I was ready. The native prisoners, the ones the Gulag recruited from this very village, were kept apart from the Russians. They had known of my resistance, and that kept them from killing me, along with the other guards. I held my daughter, your mother, for the first time, as the Gulag burned around us. The people of the village took us both in, and against their own superstition, agreed to help me rescue your grandmother from the Vale.
Yeah, I don't know that I have a whole lot of use for the near-field thing, but I'm definitely interested in brain computer.
She has to be inside. This is it.
From one comes the other.
Exactly.
Bravo team. The missing soldiers.
Exactly.
They're here.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, imagine the virtual reality that could be set up.
Always been her.
Ooh.
At the margins, in the dark, always there. She is what we came here for. We just didn't know it until now. She is the center of the world. She can make the fog swirl and choke our minds. She can give us clarity. She spoke her name, Baba Yaga, and our wounds healed. With another word, she split us open again. We are nothing, and we are hers. We will do as she commands. We were made for this.
All right, so Grandma's got a cult.
What has she done to them?
Hold on. Do I have any more arrow capacity? Yes. Oh.
Dizzy. No. I need that last antidote.
Dose time.
This is the last of it.
Well. Hi, Grams.
When you are dead, you too shall serve me. Taru etana kura de ayade.
They're just men. You can do this.
Here's your cult. I like the weird warbly effect on their voices. By hallucinating. Alright, get out of there.
I mean, this kind of looks like around here during peak pollen season.
That sounds rough.
Yeah, my black Mazda 3 looks yellow.
Go over here, Grams.
Now! Damn it, need to keep her away from the road.
Shoot her with some automatic rifle.
Stay down, damn it.
I would, but I had my bow equipped already. Take that, flying cauldron. Whoa. I don't know if that was actually another physics engine glitch or just a hallucination.
I think in the Legends, instead of a cauldron, I think she's flown around a giant mortar and pestle.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what that is. It looks more like a mortar. Mortar.
True.
Shit, she's gonna cut the rope.
No, that's fine.
Got to stop it.
Oh shit. My ground is gone.
It looks like tomato soup.
This floor is lava.
Really sickly tomato soup, maybe. I'm not drinking that. Blech.
I ain't drinking that tomato soup, not unless there's a huge grilled cheese sandwich to go with it.
Yes, please.
Yeah, well, your mother too.
I am going to absolutely murder a cat.
What's Taru doing now?
This isn't real. Keep
Getting in
going,
trouble.
damn it.
I was hoping for something more specific. I mean, I assumed that part, you know?
Trying to push Mama down the stairs.
Oh, wow.
When it started play fighting and all of a sudden just decided, nope, I'm gonna try to wrestle you down them. And then kept having to try to break up the cat fight.
Stay down, damn it!
Sounds about right.
Oosh. Boom, bitch.
I'll defeat you with the power of chemistry.
Goddamn right.
Alright, we're going this way then. Whee! Another exploding spot.
Nice shot.
Thank you. I don't think he liked it much.
Well.
How much of this is in Lara's head? No, I think she's shooting at the actual cultists that have become obsessed with her. Cultists and wolves. So I think most of this is actually happening. It just looks weird and exaggerated. Also, I don't know what it is. If she actually just threw anything real at me or not. Maybe an incendiary bomb. That's weird.
You can do this. Got to stay focused.
I don't know what this is supposed to represent. Floating nonsense. Okay, this is one I was at before. Need the next one. This actually reminds me a little bit of the Arkham Asylum stage where you're having a scarecrow hallucination.
Yeah, a little bit.
Those
stages were fun.
What's that?
I enjoyed those stages.
They were pretty
They
cool.
They do a similar thing, the DC Universe Online game. One of the quests, the boss is Scarecrow, so you like similar thing there.
But Dan, how do you feel about Arkham Knights? Or
Arkham Knights?
Gotham Knights, whatever the fuck you call it. The upcoming one.
Yeah, it's the one with all the storing all the sidekicks.
Yeah, I think it's Gotham Knights, not Arkham Knights. So that would be confusing.
Haven't really looked into it. I'm a mild DC fan. I'll put it that way. I'm definitely
I would
more
agree
Marvel
that I really
than-
like Batman and such. But it's a direct story sequel to Arkham Knight. And you play as Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood.
Yeah.
Got to shoot her.
One of which I
Pin
care
down or she'll
about.
cut herself free.
Hold on, where do I trigger this? What's down there? If they let me, I'll play the whole game as Batgirl.
Oh, shit, she's
That would be fun.
My question is, which Batgirl and which Robin do you have in there?
Got to stop her from cutting the rope.
I believe Barbara Gordon and I think
Laura,
not
can you
Dick
hear me?
Grayson. Who's the other one?
Bit busy at the
Dick
moment.
Grayson is Nightwing, Jason Todd is
Yeah.
Red Hood, Tim
As far as
Drake
Red Hood.
was
Tim Drake.
Drake
I think
was-
it's the Tim Drake Robin.
It's her, Laura.
Yeah,
The witch
and then
is
the
my grandmother.
current-
She's alive.
Oh, you figured it out.
You can't.
You're a little bit behind me.
Maybe we can get through to her. We have to try.
I'll do what I can, but we have to end this, Nadia.
Yeah, Tim Drake, I think, is Red Robin now. Damian Drake is the current Robin.
Damian Wayne is the current Robin.
Yeah.
Is that the Robin in the game then? Damian Wayne?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
Tim Drake or Damian Wayne? I don't know which one.
Damian Wayne is the.
He's the son of Batman. He's the son of Batman and Talia, who's the daughter of Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah. Okay. No, I don't think it's him.
I wonder if we get any other peripheral characters in this game, like Batwoman or Orphan, who had been Batgirl at one point. Spoiler, who was also Batgirl at one point.
The thing I find confusing about it is they spent a lot of time during Arkham Knight setting up who was going to take over for Batman after Batman was gone someday.
Yeah.
And this game appears to be completely ignoring that setup.
Oh, of course.
Although, I don't know if I would have wanted to play that character either, so I'm not sure if I care about that. But just from a story standpoint, it's weird that they would set that up and then ignore it. Unless it's a side story, yeah. Maybe it does come up, I don't know. But, Batman was like, I'm not gonna be here forever, so I'm gonna set somebody up to replace me when I'm gone. What? Who's gun? What was she saying? Or if it's just like arcane sounding nonsense. Because these are all like single syllable words. I don't think this is actually Russian. It's probably just mystic sounding gibberish. Cool, though.
It sounds kind of like the Soviet Womble videos, but I forget one of these guys speaking. He was speaking in Finnish. And the Soviet response, why is he speaking Elvish?
Oh shit, she's gonna cut the rope!
Oh, they rock.
Oh! It's funny though, because the Finnish comment isn't really wrong. Because his Middle-earth elves were based on the idea of the Norse mythology of elves.
Could be. Yep, hello.
Hi, Grambris.
Oh, it's scary now.
Were you breathing too much of your own stuff? Did you run out of antidote?
Stop. No more. I know who you are. I can only imagine what you've gone through to stay alive.
You have no idea.
It's over now. You don't have to live like this anymore.
Serafima.
But you died. They told me you died.
They told you a lot of stuff.
Will she be all right?
I don't know. But it won't be easy for any of you.
Family never is.
Oh, I know. I know.
Thank you
Here goes the shoulder.
for everything.
Straight through him.
And imagine one day you'll find out that you've been married to Baba Yaga. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, DLC complete.
Yay!
Nice.
Woo!
Yes, I was shooting at my friend's grandma. Fallen arrows.
Grandma? Shut up, Grandma! Drink your pro juice!
That sounds useful.
wraith skin.
What's up,
I
Tiny
thought I'd
Tina?
give them a little time alone while I look around some more. I'm gonna look around a little longer.
Yes, you just told me that. Thanks.
Thank you.
Alright, let's see. 2 skill
Nadia's
points.
grandparents, split apart by the Gulag, are reunited. They all have a long and arduous road ahead.
Ooh, resist damage from enemies for a short period of time after bandaging wounds during combat.
I don't
Take
know if
it.
she will ever be able to fully return to the realm. And
and
Yvonne
I'll take
dreamed
triple
of
shot.
killing the witch to get revenge for his
Yvonne.
lost love, but they were the same woman all along. That wound he nursed for decades won't heal overnight. They're survivors.
Me, Austin.
We all are. But it will be difficult. It will feel impossible some days, I know. At least
Wait.
they'll have a fighting chance, now that we know the truth. It may not be enough, but it's a good start.
Where's my hallucination arrows?
Gulag, do you suffer from anti-Sova thinking? From valuing freedom and thinking thoughts of reform? If so, try Gulag today.
Yeah. Huh. Actually, wait. Okay, there's Dream Stinger. It's a new bow. Oh, I have to be using this one to have the pollen arrows, I think.
Yeah, that's the one that gives you the pollen stuff.
I thought they were saying I could just craft pollen arrows.
It adds the pollen to the poison arrows, I guess, that you already have.
I think that
So
might be what it was.
They trip balls while they die.
I mean, I'm in. Okay, let's fast travel back to, I think, actually, hold on, let me view the map first. What was here? This is the interior of the mines. Guess we could scoop up a few goodies there. Need some more coins after all. Okay. Let's scour the mines for a quick couple minutes, then we'll call it a night.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
I might as well get some goodies first, though. No, Burnswell, they do not have a whole lot of old person sexy times to catch up on. We don't need them breaking their hips.
Old people don't have sex anyway.
Exactly. And I will continue to tell myself that, so I can sleep better at night.
See, that's not what the nursing home statistics say.
Oh, those aren't old people. They're cosplaying.
They're what?
They're cosplaying as old people.
Oh god.
Nope. Don't like what my brain just came up with.
Don't like that.
No, my brain came up with, so they're old people, other kin.
Oh, they're old kin.
Old kin.
Nope, don't like that.
Nope. Me neither.
Sounds like something out of a Russian horror story.
It
does.
That sounds
Baba
like
Yaga's oldkin.
One of the things the goons were talking about on the stream one time said, "Retiring home just another word for orgy for old people."
No.
That's why I volunteer there every Tuesday.
Oh.
Oh no.
That's not
Oh,
right.
somebody's gonna hold the camera, right?
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
I sent everybody a video, and Snow seemed it was kind of neat, but I wanted to point out something about what's in that video. It's an implantable magnet, obviously. Two things to point out. Not everything is fun and games with magnet implants.
Oh,
Firstly,
Uh-oh.
these are usually self-installs or installs by people who do extreme body mods. As such, access to painkillers are usually not.
Oh no.
Secondly, something to keep in mind, regular metal becomes a nuisance in an MRI. These things become fucking bullets.
Oh.
A high-power magnet with a 7 Tesla magnetic field, yeah, that'll just fucking rip it out of your wherever you put it.
I've never heard of Tesla used as a unit of measurement before.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Magnetism.
Yeah?
Well, sort of. But, yeah, no, it does a 7 Tesla magnetic field, or a 7 Tesla MRI machine, I should say. More than capable of just ripping a magnet out of wherever you happen to put it.
You can do cool stuff with ferrofluid, though. Looking at that video.
Oh, yeah.
Very true. You
Just
can
don't
also
ever need to go get an MRI.
You can also detect magnetic fields. So if you were to walk through like a Walmart, whatever, that has those like anti-theft things by the door, you'll feel it if it's turned on.
Pull, because you'll feel the pull, right?
You'll feel the pulse as you walk through. It used to be before these. I can't find the magnets that I really wanted. They were smaller than these. But you could put them in. If you think about your ear for a second, you have at the front of your external ear that little bump.
Yeah.
You could get these small magnets and you could get them implanted there. And not just being able to feel the magnetic field, you could actually hear frequencies of magnetic pulse. Because it was vibrating something that was so close to your ear canal, you could actually hear the frequency.
That'd be funky.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to hear that shit. But I can't find those magnets anymore. These seem a bit big for that. What's up?
If a person has an obsession with magnetism, or magnets in general, would that be magnetism?
Ugh.
That sounded like a thanks, I hate it.
You're a bad person, that was bad, and you should feel bad.
But I'm also still right, though. Yes?
You're not wrong. I will not say you're right.
Bad, you should feel bad.
Or you could do something cute with these magnets, like what I also suggested to Snow. Get matching ones with a partner so your hands snap together.
Ah, that's adorable.
Isn't it, though? Lewd.
That's very lewd.
Just strong enough that when they snap together, there's like anybody nearby can hear just like this slight auditory little tick.
Imagine having.
If you're gonna do that, you might as well make sure people notice.
Right? Like, there are ways that you could probably possibly do that, but think about this for a second. This is an extreme use of magnet implants. Have magnets implanted in matching erogenous zones.
Nice.
Oh, geez, it'd be the, Puzzle and Mine
right?
video all over again.
Yeah.
It's magneted together.
So instead of sex sounding like plap, 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 it sounds like tick, 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 as the magnet keeps re-snapping together over and over again.
Just have, like, various magnets in different places so you can actually create a whole new rhythm to it. Like,
that'd be interesting.
That could be real interesting. vibrating implants would be popular. Yeah, well, all you need is a magnetic field generator, actually. Electromagnetic pulse would be a whole different thing if you had magnets on your erogenous zones, just different frequencies. You are a vibrator, essentially. You are your own vibrator.
Pretty much.
No touch vibrators. Install magnet, press go.
Hands-free diddling.
Hands-free and no batteries, ever.
Ferrophilic. Magnophilia? Ferrophilic? I don't know. I like magnetism better.
Magnetism.
Yep.
I don't know. I would almost be... No, definitely. Yeah, it's triggering all of my happy thoughts when it comes to transhumanism. I would definitely experiment with magnetic erogenous zones.
I believe it. You would. You totally. That's up your alley, both figuratively and literally.
It's like I was thinking about it. It's like, I might. It's like, no, there is no might. I would, hands down.
I love this. I love the fact that regardless of what technology it is, one of the first thoughts that everyone comes up with, okay, but how can we use it to fuck?
Yeah.
I would have thought that, but I haven't seen pictures, and I've looked just out of curiosity to see if anybody else had these thoughts for the LED implants. Nobody has gotten them on their dick. In their dick.
What about nipples? Light up nipples.
Nope.
Really?
Somebody has to do it.
That is a shame, right there.
Get pink LEDs.
I sent you the
so
link.
Your nipples glow pink.
There you go, Dan. I sent you the link. You can find the LEDs from there. Be the first. Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yes.
I might sponsor something for Ray's here. We might.
All right.
Now wait a minute. No. You be the change you want to see in the world.
I don't want them on my. I have moobs, not tits. Thank you very much.
So
you still have nipples.
I do still have nipples, but ain't no one want to see them glowing.
You want to see human nipple?
She's cute.
At the very least, Goobs will be amused. All right, let's pause for just a second.
Roll their eyes.
Pause for just a second for a quick narration, and then we'll be done.
Okay.
To any who received this message, I will soon be dead, and with me all knowledge of this place. Escape for us was never an option. We boarded the train and set out for the long journey, only to discover that mere miles from the mountain, the tracks we built upon the backs of so many dead had simply disappeared. For months now, the native population has carefully dismantled the railroad, intentionally isolating this place in preparation for their attacks. And like their precious ruins, I will soon be taken by the snows and forgotten.
Burnswell, I love that idea. He implants magnets, she implants a coil, we've invented a new green energy. Or in this case, pink energy.
Oh, I don't want to make assumptions of where the coil goes.
Name me a body part that's naturally green.
Well, you said pink.
Yeah?
Pink energy.
There could also be brown energy.
I mean, as long as you've kept things clean, it's still pink in there too.
Hey.
Giggity.
Yikes.
So then
it's
you
still
have
referred to as
that
a brown star. So
yeah. Okay, so you do that, and then you have one of those, a nearby battery in the room set up with that wireless charging technology. And you can power your house by fucking. I
Need to get 15% more on the phone before I leave for work.
My back is killing me.
I love it.
We
All
gotta
right.
have enough energy to keep the refrigerator. None of this I got a headache bullshit.
Suddenly reminded of back when the Pirate Bay was still more of a thing, and they first added a visible section, and they had somebody uploaded a 3D printable dildo, and you looked in the comments, and the comments are fucking gold on that site.
Oh.
The comment on this is like, amazing new technology arises. Humanity exclaims, let's use it to make dicks.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Hell, home video probably got or was because of the porn industry.
That's a myth.
What is?
Home video because of the porn industry. Anyway,
No, it
you're
just
trying to get
rapidly
outta here.
became its own indie porn industry is all.
Yeah.
All right, who are we gonna raid today? Probably Ricky. It looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's a Twitch channel called Plague of Gripes. That's good. That's a good name. Let's see how the scrims are going for Ricky.
All right.
Not screams, Skyrims.